Hi, and welcome back to Purple Collar Life. I'm Chad. Today's video we're talking about firewood and where I store it. But before we even get started, I gotta get some stuff out of the back of the truck. It's fall, we're done camping. You can see the campers in storage here in the building. So I'm gonna take the B&W hitch out of the back of the truck. But first, a quick story before we talk about firewooding. We had a visitor last night. As my grandma would say, we had the bear last night. So I'll put a clip up above of the bear visiting us here at the house. Now, it's not uncommon in Northwest Pennsylvania for us to see a bear in the woods as we're out and about, or even from our house to see a bear walking through the woods behind or beside the house. What is less common is when the bear comes up on the porch. I only know of that happening one or two other times since I built the house here in the woods. But last night we had the bear on the porch. I'll show you some pictures. He was trying to get Jennifer's decorative pumpkins. He took some corn off of the corn stalks, and then he walked right in front of the garage, right by Jennifer's expedition, and exited as we were getting up and around at 3 o'clock in the morning because we heard all the banging out on the porch. So there's the clip of the bear. You can see he's pretty good size, and right now is the key time when they are foraging for food. They're getting ready to go into the winter season, so it's not surprising. They do a lot of damage to bird feeders. They do like to find corn stalks, so we've got them decorating our house right now, and obviously he thought that was a good late night snack. All right, so let's talk about all the places we've got firewood stored. Back here behind the boat in the big building, we've got our best firewood. That's that good oak. I'll put a link up above to the videos of us picking that up. We've got one empty tote and 3 full totes here at the edge of the woods. I've been trying for a couple years to figure out the best location to store my firewood. The problem with this area is it's wet to get in and out of here with the tractor, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. Not a great place, but it is out of sight, which is one of Jennifer's requirements for the IBC totes full of firewood. This is one location I started putting firewood, so you can see we're at a different section of the woods here. I do have a small stack started right here on skids. So we'll call it location number 3. We'll call this location number 4. You can see I've got some rounds here. Got some smaller rounds back here in the woods. But this, for a number of years, has been my primary firewood location. I had a covered stack right here. Had a big stack of rounds. Used to go from about right here at the pallet all the way down to there. We've been chipping away at that. This is within sight from the back of our house, so Jennifer doesn't like the pile of wood here. So we're working on moving that. You can see back here behind, I used to stack firewood in between these trees. So we've got some there. Got another stack over here to the side. So this has been the primary firewood area for a number of years. I'm gonna get all this out of here because it is within sight of the house. So that's location 4. This is location 5, back here in the woods behind the shed. We've got 3 full totes of nothing but cherry, Pennsylvania cherry hardwood. So location 5 is all cherry. And then I also have back here 1, 2, 3, 4 available totes for firewood. I can already tell you that's not going to be enough. In addition to the normal firewood we get just from trees falling down in our approximately 70 acres of woods, I've got one tree right there. It's an oak, and it is leaning over on top of the shed. So I've got a professional coming to take that down this week so that there wouldn't be a time when it would fall right on top of the shed. But that's not all. This big maple has been here long before I built the house, and it does have this one limb that's coming out to the side, and it's actually pretty close to where our house is. So that same professional is going to take this whole tree down. That's a huge maple. I'm going to guess it's, I don't know, maybe 30 inches in diameter at the base. So that'll be a lot more firewood. That'll easily fill more than the 4 totes we have available. So I got to get some more totes. So I've been working for the last few weeks on this path, clearing out some trees using the brush hog here on the Ford Workmaster tractor. And I'll show you where this path is going. So this path leaves our previous property and takes us on to the new property that we bought last year. Nice little path through the woods here I've been working on. Got a couple options up here. We're going to go to the right. This takes us past the old cabin here in the woods. You've seen that on our Instagram posts. And I've still got a little bit of work to do here on the path, but there's the old cabin. I'll talk to you a little bit about what I think I might do in that spot. So this little ride through the woods has taken us up to a right-of-way, which is above our house. You can see up here it's nice and dry, and this had been all full of, overgrowth, but this summer the electric company came through and cleaned out the right-of-way. So I actually created 3 paths that come up to this right-of-way from our house through the new property. And this is going to make some really good spots for me to store firewood because it gets sunshine all day long. The right-of-way lines up almost exactly with the rise and fall of the sun, so perfect location here. It's up quite a bit of elevation greater than our home, so it stays dry. And now that it's all cleared out, perfect spot for me to put my totes or pallets of firewood that I can get to using the paths and the tractor. Now we do have a lot of things like all these little stubble sticking up, so we'll have to watch for those. Hopefully we can get them ground down over time. But really nice area here. Here's that path we just came up through the woods. So here's a good look looking down the right-of-way. You can see we are surrounded on both sides by woods. So it's a nice private area. So I think a good spot to store our IBC totes of firewood. There's a pretty good sized stump right there. You can see this was pretty grown in, and that's why I never even considered it as a spot for firewood. But now that the electric company has it all cleared out, I think it's a perfect spot. More storage space right there. Another path right there to get to the house. More storage over here with plenty of sun. Now so far I've only come up in this path with the Ford tractor. We'll see, we'll give it a try here with the John Deere and the pallet forks and one of the totes of firewood to see if we can make it up through here. I do have the tractor in 4-wheel drive, and as you can see, that's all the higher we can lift this basket. So I don't know if that's quite high enough to get it up through that long path to our new firewood storage area, but we'll give it a try. Definitely that's one of the problems with this area I've been storing these totes. It's uneven terrain and wet. So I can feel the front of that tote catching right now as I try to get through the yard here. The other thing I've noticed when going on a path in the woods with the Firewood tote is I have zero visibility in front of me. Now, I know that right here there's a big bump. Scrape that pretty good. Then I've got this hard, uneven turn. I'm a little bit worried about this one. Yeah, that's not gonna work right there. To get this tote re-centered on my forks now. Slid to the side there. So this is the original path. It's wet in that turn, probably a spring right there. So there's gonna be, let's say we'll take the high road here to this side of that maple tree. We'll have to come up the hill a little bit steeper here. Then I think we can maybe come around through here. Got this one limb that I'll take care of. Swing wide. Bit of a dip here, catching the front end of the tote, but we made it through there. To get the best clearance, what I do is lower the tote down, push into it, tilt back, then lift up. So I do my tilting first. To get that front edge as much off the ground as I can. So between the ballast box on the back and the tote of firewood on the front, we have plenty of weight on all four tires. But this is the area of the path that's a little soft. So we'll see how much digging in we do here. Okay, I got the first IBC tote with firewood moved. It was a little bit more stressful than I had hoped. It's still not great even terrain here in this right of way, lots of stumps, and when you've got a full tote on the front of the little 2210, you can feel every one of those bumps. It feels uneasy. It'll be nice to have these up here. My only fear now is having come up here with the tractor and the tote. Sometimes we get a lot of snow, a foot, 2 feet, and I'm worried that when we get those really big snows, it'll be difficult for me to get up here to the right of way to get my firewood. So a little bit of concern there. Maybe I won't put it all up here. Maybe this will just be the seasoning area of the green stuff. Then I can bring it back down closer to the house before winter. But overall, I do like this location. Maybe we work on improving that roadway a little bit, make it easier for the tractor to get up in here, and maybe instead of filling the totes up, you know, quite this full, we leave them a little bit lower and then we can add to them once we have the wood seasoned a little bit. If this video entertained or informed you in any way, we'd appreciate it if you'd give us a thumbs up, and then we'll see you again the next time here on Purple Collar Life.